Every case is not a policy limit, but a good percentage of them are way more than what's going on now. They're just not getting what they deserve because of bad documentation from the doctors. So as an example in this case, he now knew what kind of case he had, and he didn't have that good of a case. So the client wanted to sue. You know, the client thought there was more to her case than what was. My client educated the attorney and said, well, this is what you do have, but this is also what you don't have to win a policy limit award. And the attorney understood that. But the client kept calling the attorney saying, oh, I want to sue, I want to sue, I want to sue. So the attorney called my client and said, hey, can you call your patient and explain to them what you explained to me, how, you know, the real value of this case? So he did. He called the patient and said, this is how the cases work. This is what you have. This is what you don't have. And based on this, I would not recommend going to court. See, that's called smart. That's not trying to make every case a grand slam. It's understanding the differences and knowing how to document it and explain it. In other words, it's called being honest. And so my client says, the attorney called him back and said, yep, she's okay with settling now. Because that's what that case did need to settle. It did not need to go. And one of the reasons I pointed that out to you is I said I've never lost a case in court, which is true. But there's one reason why I've never lost a case in court for a patient, is because I was able to explain my attorney what he did not have, and I was able to make him realize, don't go to court with this case because you don't have what you need to win, or, you know, to have a high probability of really winning or winning big. That's why I never lost in court, because I knew the difference. I didn't try to make every patient a grand slam. And that is more important than you winning a big case for a patient. And I say this over and over, because most chiropractors, they go, oh, I want to get the big case so I can influence the attorney, you know. And I'm like, no, that's not what's important. What's important is that he knows that you know how to document and put the case together and how to differentiate one versus the other. That's what's important, not that you hit a grand slam for a case. And matter of fact, if I had the option, in other words, I'm going to influence this attorney, it's a new attorney, and one option was, this is going to be a good case, a policy limited case, but the attorney's not going to know all the things I know about how to document and put the case together. It's just going to be a good policy limit award case. And then there's another case that I can explain to the attorney what makes it a good case or a bad case, and where this particular patient stands within that case. That's the one I want for the attorney, because that's what sells the attorneys, not a one-off that you just hit a grand slam once. What sells them is they know that you know your stuff. That's what sells them. And so when you go, hey, this is not that good of a case and this is why, guess what they say? They go, okay, got it. Let's go to the next one. And I say it all the time. Don't try to get rich on one patient. Don't try to get rich on one patient. And I see that with chiropractors often. Why? They don't know how to get business. They don't know how to get business, generally speaking. They don't know how to get PCI cases. And they generally don't have good practices. A chiropractor seeing 60 visits a week or 80 visits a week. So every now and then when they get that PI patient, they bill the hell out of them. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to put the case together. They just felt like, you know, they got a little bit of a gold mine for a short term. And what they don't understand is you're destroying any relationship at all with whoever that attorney's working with that patient. You're hurting your business more because you're thinking short term instead of long term. We don't think short term. We teach stability, long term. What do you have? What do you not have? Present it, and that's what it is, period.